You do not sacrifice your cultural identity by becoming a world citizen. You do not compromise your community's sovereignty or your personal sovereignty. In fact, you enhance it. This is not a gateway to any kind of centralized power. It is inherently a devolving force. It devolves power. And here's how it does it, with these three elements. Just three elements. And I defy anyone to say that any one of these elements can be reasonably objected to. They are as unobjectionable as it gets. So, number one, I, as a world citizen and as a man, affirm my natural rights. My natural rights. So, my right to life, my right to express myself freely, my right to travel, my right to self-defense. Basic rights. If you don't know about natural rights, I encourage you to look into it. Again, I said this last night, Mark Passio is an excellent source if you want to get into that. So, natural is natural. If you don't have your natural rights respected, then you're living in an unnatural, unjust, tyrannical society. So, natural rights are inherent in any kind of just existence. So, that's element number one. As a world citizen and as a man, I affirm my natural rights. Number two, very simple. As a world citizen, I obligate myself to respect the natural rights of every other human being, regardless of whether they've signed this contract. I affirm and obligate myself to respect those rights. It's the golden rule. It's the one rule that we all really need to understand and finally practice. It solves all problems, really. The only requirement for the golden rule to actually affect a just peace in this world is some level of sanity. If you're completely insane and you like fucking, being tortured because you're a pervert, you like sexual behavior and all that, okay, it doesn't quite work from that perspective. But if you're reasonably sane, the golden rule solves all of our problems. If you wouldn't want it done, you don't do it to someone else. And don't pay for someone else to do it to someone else, This is ridiculous. You don't pay a hitman to go kill somebody and say, well, I didn't actually kill him. You were paying the hitman to go commit mass murder. Don't fucking do that. Isn't it simple? If we're doing that, how are we going to solve any of our problems if we just pay for this bullshit? So how do we get out of paying for this? Well, this is the means. For me, this is a lawful, peaceful way. If the powers that be want to take away the lawful, peaceful methods, which they do, they want us. They want us to go down the route of violence. Because, of course, they have the majority of guns. That's why they're trying to take the guns away from the American people. They're going to have a fucking problem in America. There are going to be pockets of people, the real patriots, as much as people, liberal lefties, may have fucking hate these right-wingers who are claiming their guns. They're going to be the saviors of that country. And they're going to be the ones who are going to stand up and die and turn some of the U.S. troops who are going to be called on to kill their own citizens. Those are the ones that are going to prevent that from happening, God love them. And I don't really like guns, per se. But, fucking hey, man, I believe in self-defense. And the whole point of the Second Amendment was to protect the people from a government gone rogue. We see this completely, to the point that the President can order the execution of anyone, anywhere, anytime, with the use of drones, including American citizens, and has done that. Holy shit, man. If the fucking President is able to fucking order an execution anywhere around the world, just based on a fucking meeting with a bunch of cunts who fucking apparently give intelligence, and say that this guy's a terrorist, think about it. How much more obvious and extreme can it get? That's the world we're living in right now. So, we need to cut that shit. Back to the social contract, the golden rule. I affirm my natural rights and I respect the rights of everyone else, the natural rights of everybody else. The third element, necessary element. I come from planet Earth. I believe most of us come from planet Earth. Some of you may not, but as far as I understand it, most of us come from planet Earth. And this planet sustains us. This planet is our mother. We should be respecting it as we would respect our mother in a healthy relationship. Instead, we're shitting all over our mother. So, what I love about it is simplicity. There's a lot of things I love about this planet. I don't mean to be massaging my own ego here. I feel like a lot of this stuff is just, it's almost beyond me. It's almost like it's downloaded or whatever. I'm just doing whatever it is that I meant to do. And it just seems so bloody obvious to me. This 3-point social contract contract is about as unobjectionable as it gets. There will be some who will object on certain grounds, but the vast majority of the 7 billion people on this planet will not object to this. It has the potential to unite people. You think about it realistically. Why would you object to that? Why would you object to people agreeing to respect each other's natural rights and respecting the planet? Something's wrong with you if you don't understand the value of that. So out of 7 billion people, I don't know how many people might agree to this, but potentially it's in the billions. Potentially. It should certainly be in the millions. I mean, if we can't get at least 10 million, 20 million, 100 million out of 7 billion, I mean, a billion is 1,000 million. And 7,000 million? 7,000 million. I mean, how many out of 7,000 million would be willing to actually sign this? Well, to me, the real key there is to present it the right way, because this is a plan that really, truly endeavors to change the world and wrest away the power that we provided to the powers that be, to take it back from them and give it back to ourselves. So a goal of that magnitude that has a realistic opportunity of achieving that goal needs to be presented in line with that type of goal. It cannot be done with a handy cam and bullshit audio and like, here's what we should do. It needs to be presented the right way. It needs to look a certain way, because we've been programmed, many of us, and this isn't just for the enlightened audience, this is for everyone. Everyone is a target with this plan. And a lot of people have been programmed and conditioned to only see things as serious and worthwhile if it looks a certain way. It's part of the spell that they cast on us, so it has to be presented the right way. Now, I only talked about one element of the plan last night. The first phase of the plan is only the contract. And because it's so simple, it can be translated into all the major languages, and we will do everything we can to reach people on a different cultural level than just the Western level. It won't just be a Western audience. We are seeking people from all around the world, African people who know the end result of this tyrannical system, the people of the so-called third world who know the end of this tyrannical system, the results of this tyrannical system. All of them will have an opportunity to actually read that social contract and understand the principles of the World Citizen Mission within 5 to 10 minutes. It's simple, it's straightforward, and it can be translated into every major language. So it has the potential to unite us. Phase 2 of this plan is very exciting from my perspective, because it gets to this whole reality of us paying for this shit. We pay for ISIS, you know. We do pay for that. Believe me, we're paying for that. I mean, if you watch some of these videos, I've watched the video with just pure execution after execution, and it was one part that was incredible. I mean, the whole thing was fucking nuts, but you know, there was 2 Christian bishops they had in Syria, and they had these guys on their knees, and you know, no blindfolds or anything, so they were aware and awake and da da da. Anyway, the way they executed him was this big fucker with a buck knife, a big buck knife, came up behind him and literally just cut right through the fucking head into the spinal cord, and just cut right through. And you know, one was first, obviously, so the other one. So we paid for that shit. We are paying for that shit. I'm telling you, we're paying that through our proxies and whatnot. We do provide training with them using our fucking weapons. They're driving around in our Humvees and all sorts of shit. You know, we need to stop paying for that. I mean, you know, we can say, oh, not in my name. Bullshit. It's in your fucking name with your money. We need to stop that. I mean, really, if we're to be honest with ourselves, we're fucking paying, but we need to stop paying. So this is a vehicle to stop paying. So when we reach a certain number, I believe 10 million is the right number, but when 10 million people sign this social contract, because of the small amount of money that each person will be asked, $12, lifetime fee, never again, we don't have to pay any money. We can do the math here. Some of the people won't have to pay if they come from third world nations where their currencies are devalued. They won't have to pay. People who come from Western nations will pay the $12. So let's just say 2 million people sign the social contract and pay the $12. That's $24 million. That provides a budget for a highly qualified legal team, which I already have ready to go, to be able to defend the position of these world citizens who will be saying very publicly, and with the backing of all the other world citizens and the bright shining light that we're going to have on this subject, we're going to say, listen, I cannot pay that tax any longer, because we've proven, we have a legal brief here establishing that that money is being used to carry out this, that, and the other offense against other human beings. And I cannot do that both morally, but also in terms of law. I've entered into a social contract of my own free will world citizen, I am obligated to respect the rights of others. So unless you can prove to me that this money will not be used to commit these crimes against other people, I'm not paying it. And I'm not a guy sitting alone, because I'll tell you what, a lot of people, I'm sure some of you in this audience, you're doing that right now. You've created your own businesses, you take money cash in hand, you're not paying your taxes. I know some of you are in this audience, I'm one of those fucking people as well. All of us, I don't know how many of us there are, but trust me, we're in the millions. Just us. Probably tens of millions of us doing that shit. There's a billion people in the West, I don't know how many of us are doing this, but this is for you. Believe you me, no longer will you be on your own. No longer. You're going to have a lot of people behind you and a proper legal team, but even more than that, you're going to have something really powerful, that social contract. That social contract is more powerful than people realize. I tell people this, and again, it makes me kind of chuckle inside because you haven't quite seen it yet. We do this in the numbers that we're capable of doing this. It is game, set, fucking match. We have that power. This social contract is a spit in the face of the powers that be in the most extreme way. It is one big fuck you, big time. And every fucking bullshit fraud that they're committing against us to strip us of our rights and manipulate us into one more after another, all of that is dealt with this one contract. No more. And the legal, lawful position that we take will become the new law amongst all people. It's the starting point. It could be added to if we wanted to, but if we operate under the golden rule and respect for the planet, we can solve our problems really quickly. We can get out of this socially engineered, never-ending state of war. We can start to employ other solutions, which are already there. They're there, waiting for us. Other aspects of this plan, when we reach phase 2, I already mentioned the tax issue, free energy. We're going to have the money to say, who's got the best free energy device? We'll put it to market right here, right now. We'll get it into production right now. We have the money to do that. When we get to natural health, real healing, real health care, we're going to be able to provide that. We can solve all of our problems. There are so many beautiful people out there doing so much work on so many different levels. The solutions are waiting for us. We have to embrace them. We have to do what we're capable of doing. We have to make an agreement with each other to respect each other. It starts there. And that means with our enemies as well. And that's the real reason why people are attacking the messenger. That's the real message that I have. And there are very powerful interests who obviously do not want that. It's a nightmare for them. So, listen, I mean this in all sincerity. This is our decision to make. If we decide to do the right thing, we are going to have a better world. And I genuinely believe that we can have that world as early as 2016. But either way, if we do our best, we're going to create something special, something beautiful, something that we can truly feel proud to hand over to our children. And you know what? That's the only thing I'm willing to accept. So I hope we do what we're capable of doing. I have a lot of faith that we will, but it really is truly up to us. So let's make it fucking happen.